Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're watching this. My name is Mordecai Orimiladeye, and you're welcome to the webinar for the month of May. Today, we'll be speaking about execution mastery. You'll be learning how you can learn the system, habits, and discipline required to fulfill your purpose. And it's going to be an exciting night, right? And this session is for people who knows their purpose already. You know you have a vision. You know the reason. You are clear as regards why you're on it. But the problem now is that you've not been able to start taking action as regards your purpose, your vision for life. And guess what? That leaves most people frustrated. Um, it leads people to comparison. And guess what? People also start struggling when they are out of alignment, right? It's not enough to know why you're in this world. The most important thing is that you start taking action as regards what you've discovered about the essence and the meaning of your life. And tonight's session is going to guide you towards helping you master execution because which I will talk about shortly. Execution is one of the most important skill, especially in this dispensation, in this current time and age, right? And the difference between those who become successful and those who remain failures, those who become great and those who remain mediocre, is their ability to execute on their vision, on their purpose for life. And guess what? The key to your fulfillment, the key to your peace, the key to your success is in you discovering your purpose, which most of you have, right? But most importantly, taking action on what you have discovered. And that's what this session is going to be all about. I wanted to not be distracted, take away every form of distraction, and I will take you on this journey towards execution mastery. So let me know your name and let me know where you are joining from. If you can see me, if you can hear me, let me know your name. Let me know where you are joining from, which country. I know this is uh, my platform have people from over 101 countries. So I know many people join from different countries around the world. And regardless of your time zone, just let me know your name and let me know where you are joining from. And let me know how excited you are for tonight's session. It's going to be a great time. Previously, our webinar for April, I spoke about executing on your purpose, right? How you can turn your vision into daily action. So I spoke about purpose, understanding your purpose better. I spoke about vision, how vision connects your purpose. You cannot execute your purpose right without understanding your vision because your vision is the picture of your purpose. And when you know your purpose and create a vision that captures your purpose, that will help you execute your purpose, then you cannot turn your vision into actions you can do daily that will keep taking you step by step towards that vision, which will ultimately help you achieve your purpose. But tonight's session is just about helping you now that you know about your purpose, your vision, and you have an idea about executing daily. Now, how can you ensure that your execution can be consistent, can build around, can ensure that it's predictable, and can ensure that you keep going regardless, and ensure that at the end of the day you'll feel your purpose. And that's what the session is all about. So let me know how excited you are for tonight's session. I'm looking forward to your comments. I'll try to view some comments so that everyone can see who is engaging. So first and foremost, right, I've been able to execute my vision. I've been living purposefully, living a fulfilled life because I discovered beyond discovering my purpose, I've learned and mastered execution. Right. Currently, I am um, running a project, right? It's an annual project, and this is seventh edition. Talk about consistency. This is seventh edition, and it's through my organization, Things on Purpose International. We go to secondary schools across Nigeria to speak to young people about purpose, how they can know their purpose. We want to help young people discover purpose early because we discovered that the education system don't have there's a gap in the education system as regards that they don't teach purpose in school really, and without purpose how will you be able to rightfully execute what you are learning in school, right? So we go to school to speak about purpose, and so far in the last 7 years, in the last 6 years, we've impacted 70,000 students across 225 schools, and we are currently having the seventh edition, right? And for the past a month now since May, right? This is we are in the fourth week of this project, right? I can tell you how, despite the work involved, right? I'm excited about it. There's nothing as great and as fulfilling as working on your purpose. You know your purpose and then executing on it daily, right? And this project I'm currently running, the seventh edition, it's one of those action I'm taking towards fulfilling my ultimate vision and purpose for life, right? And beyond that, also I've written six books, right? And I'm working on my seventh and eighth book, which will be published in the next 2 months, and the next one in the next 4 or 5 months from now. And it's just to share my knowledge with the world, and it's just another way of me working towards fulfilling my purpose, executing on the purpose. Don't forget, that's the most important thing. Nobody care about what you know. What people care about is what you do, about what you know. That's what differentiates you. And beyond that, right, I have a publishing company where I help authors spread their words, right, bring the words inside of them and turn into books that can impact people. So I have different expression of my purpose, which is now my visions for life. And I am excited. I live a fulfilled life because I know every day my life benefits people, right? People have been impacted in my life, and it's because I executed on my purpose. Also, many of you know me through Modi Quotes, which is my motivational platform, which I started in 2017, talking about consistency, right? Right. I've been able to build a platform inspiring people daily. That's the core of what I do there. I share quotes, I share content that inspire people daily to live purposefully, to take action on their goals. And it's another way of executing my vision and purpose, right? And currently, with over 300,000 followers, with a community of over 37,000 members from 101 countries, those are still expression of my purpose and vision for life, and they are all a reality today. With many more to come because I focus on execution, right? I'm not perfect. I made mistake. I'm still learning, right? But I'm taking action, and the more I take action, the more I go, the clearer it becomes, and that's the whole idea about execution. So I know you want to write a book. How far have you gone about the book? I know you want to impact young people. What have you done about that? I know you have an idea that you want to create that you know it will benefit people. I attended a conference some months ago, that was 2 months ago, and an elderly person was talking about how he has an idea, and that idea is going to help reduce the rate of unemployment in Nigeria. And although he didn't share the idea, but he was talking passionately about it. And guess what? And was looking for funding. But guess what? The person he was speaking to asked him. The person asked him, "Okay, so far I know you have this big idea. Great." He was even saying that the government need this idea and so on and so forth. But they asked him that, okay, he said the only thing that's stopping him is funding. So they asked him, what have you done about that idea? Nothing, right? So without execution, if the master, you lose opportunities. Imagine he's able to just share a glimpse or a track record or something that he has done as regards that vision he has, which is connected to his purpose. He has a purpose. He wants to end unemployment in Nigeria, right? Great. Right. But guess what? He has not done anything about that. And I guess he hasn't done anything because he has not captured the vision as regards that purpose. Okay, maybe by 2030, I want to have reduced the unemployment rate to this by building this and setting up this, and then start taking little action in line with it, right? That's why he has not done anything about it. And guess what? He missed the opportunity. And think about how many opportunities you have missed. I remember someone that someone doing amazing, right? Impactful, but he has been struggling to for an expression of his purpose, which is writing a book. And he was saying how he travels to countries to speak to people and to ask him how far about your book, but he has not been able to write the book. He has not just created the time or made the time to write the book. And that talks about that the person has not just mastered execution, right? Because even though your purpose and vision, you'll be able to allocate time to what matters because it matters to you, to the full expression and fully fulfillment of your purpose, right? So don't forget, I know you're on this call, maybe you want to write a book, you have an idea, you want to set up a program, you want to build a business, you saw a problem and needed this word and you want to provide a solution to it. What differentiates you from everyone is what are you doing about it, right? So I'm asking this evening, that vision you have, that purpose you discovered, right? What are you doing about it? Purpose have been over glorified, right? It's great. Purpose have been over celebrated. I've been talking about purpose discovery for many years, right? Until a year ago, I just started asking myself, I've seen people who have discovered purpose are still frustrated. And when I look into their life, I discovered a gap. There's a gap between what they know about their purpose and what they are doing. And that gap has led to frustration, anger. And guess what? The resources you need, the financial resources you need, the human resources you need, everything you need. In fact, the more structured ideas or more structured execution you need for your purpose, everything is aligned to you executing on it. Because the more you take action on your purpose and vision for life, the clearer it becomes, the more you attract opportunities. So what you are chasing, you should be chasing it. Those things will be chasing you. What you are running after, you'll be running after those things. Those things will be running after you. But they will only go after you when you are executing, not just discovering, but executing on what you have discovered, right? And that's what leads. Discovering purpose doesn't lead to fulfillment. Executing on your purpose, that's what leads to fulfillment, right? And this is what is burning my heart, right? And I want everybody to come to the stage when they start. They don't just say, I've discovered my purpose. They say, okay, this is what I've built. This is life I've impacted. This is life I've transformed. This is what I've created because I discovered the purpose for my life. Please, are you following me, everyone? Let me know in the comment section if you are following me. So I'm asking you this evening, right? What are you doing about your purpose? What have you been doing? You've discovered it a year ago, some of you 5 years ago, 10 years ago, right? So you don't live a life of regrets, right? Don't forget, there's seasons to everything, right? There's seasons. Most of you have missed your seasons already, but it's not too late, right? To still start doing something. And that's why it's important that you listen throughout the session and get impacted by what I'll be sharing tonight. So so I would say that how many of you know exactly what you'll be doing right now? Some of you, you know exactly what you'll be doing right now. Maybe writing a book, maybe starting a business, maybe building a ministry, maybe creating content. Most of your focus currently should be about creating content. Right? If you discovered, okay, you want to solve this problem, and you know that there are people that are saying wrong thing about that content, about that your unique niche online, right? And you need to come online and be more consistent in creating content to address those things so that people can get the right information, form the right mindset that will change and transform their life. So, what are you doing about that? Some of you, you know that okay, you need to launch this project. You've been talking about this project for long, right? Some of you know that you need to apply for this opportunity, right? You know it, you feel it, you've known it for a while. Now the real question is that why haven't you done it? Why haven't you done it? Why haven't you done it? And I'm asking you this evening, why haven't you done anything about that? Now, you know, in this era with the rise of artificial intelligence and many get quick things done apps and softwares and so on and so forth, information is everywhere. If you go online and browse how to create a book, how to do something, how to what is this thing about, information is no longer scarce, right? Information is everywhere. You can get it in just a tap of a finger, right? In the splits of seconds, right? With artificial intelligence and other that is coming. Information is everywhere. Courses are everywhere. Think about it. Go to Udemy, go to Coursera or other course platforms you know. Just type anything you want to learn. You see there are courses everywhere about it. Some of you have taken several courses, but courses you've not been taking, right? So there are courses everywhere, courses on different things you want to learn or grow on, right? Growing. So there are books everywhere too. I once heard about maybe about four, is it about 4 million books? I can't remember clearly, but maybe about 4 million books they produce every year, something related to that, right? Or about on Amazon. I can't remember the specific data, right? But let me just confirm that. It's very important to confirm that. So you just get a glimpse of what I'm saying. Let me confirm that. So how many books daily is published on Amazon? Let me use Amazon. Amazon. How many books daily is published on Amazon? How many books are published daily on Amazon? Um, so okay, this was an old data, right? But it's saying here that over 10, over 100,000 books are about 3,100 books are published every day on Amazon. 3,100 books. This data is from 2015. So imagine what the current data will be, right? So there are books everywhere. There are mentors everywhere. There are opportunities everywhere. There are so much even overwhelmed by all those things, right? But the problem is no longer about access. You have access to those things. Problem is not no longer about access. The problem is about implementation. That course you took, what have you taken about it? What have you done about it? That information you have or you know, right? What have you done about that information? That courses, that books, you read, what actions have you taken, that video you watch, that podcast you listen to, what have you done about that? That's the most important thing now. Ideas have become cheap. So you can't tell me, oh, I have a groundbreaking idea. Yeah, great, but what have you done about that? That's the most important thing correctly, right? Ideas are great, but execution has become expensive. Ideas are not cheap. It's not that expensive. Previously, when you have an idea, it's like, oh, wow. But ideas are cheap now, right? You can get it easily, right? I saw a video a time of someone asking maybe ChatGPT that, okay, give me 100 ideas on something. He brought it out. Ideas are cheap now. The most One of the expensive things we have currently is execution. That's the differentiating factor. And guess what? Um, so the ability to turn knowledge into action is the most valuable skills of the modern world. And here's the best news they can hear. Execution is not a gift. Most people think that some people are gifted with execution. This person, I know there's temperament, right? And one temperament may be more averse or maybe more prone towards taking action than the other. But regardless, execution is not a gift, right? Execution is not a gift. It's not a personality trait. Okay, like we have different personality traits, right? Execution is not a personality trait. It's not something we are born with. Execution is not something you are born with. Execution is a skill, and like every other skill, it can be learned. That's the crux of what I'm saying. Right? You can't say that, oh, I've not been executing my goals. Other people are executing their goals and their vision and purpose because they have is their talent to execute. No, right? Nobody was born with the skill of execution. Anybody that currently executes, right, is because they know the importance, they learned it, and they're using it. So execution is a skill. Whether you have it or not, if you have been missing out and not doing anything about your purpose and vision, you can learn how to execute. And that's the core of our session tonight. You can learn focus, you can learn consistency, you can learn discipline, you can learn follow through, right? You can learn all those things. And how is execution learned? How is execution learned? Don't forget, I'm talking about execution, right? How is execution learned? Execution is learned exactly the way you learn other skill. Think about it. Some of you listen to me now. You in your career or whatever you do currently, you are skilled at it, right? You've learned it. You learned it. Some of you learned driving. You learned how to use the social media. You learned it how to run ads. You learned how to create something, how to build something, how to build website, how to market for people, how to sell. Some of them are speakers, so you learned how to speak. You've learned several things, right? Some of you have gone through the educational system, right? You have a bachelor degree, you have masters, you have PhD, regardless, right? You've learned something. So execution is learned like every other skill, right? And for you to learn execution, there are three major things that's important. For you to master execution, which is the core of this session, the three major things that's very important is that you must learn about system. Don't forget, the title of this session is about execution mastery, right? Execution mastery, and talking about the system, the habits, and discipline required to fulfill your purpose. So, for you to really execute, to master execution, you need to understand systems. It's very important. Everything about me, about the work I do and what I'm building, what powers most of those things beyond the purpose and vision, because purpose is the provide the clarity, what gives direction, right? What keep keep me going and executing, right? If I have an idea now, what make me execute on those ideas is because I've learned the power of systems. I've learned the power of habits, and I've learned the power of discipline. Those three things are the major things you need to master execution. And guess what? It has been everything you've learned so far. These things have played a part, right? In schools, there's systems in schools. There are habits you must implement daily, like reading habits and many other things that help you achieve what you've achieved so far. Some of you didn't feel like reading, for example, you have to read. That discipline playing there. So everything you have achieved so far, you've actually made use of systems, right? You've made use of habits. You've made use of discipline to achieve those things you've achieved so far. Now, the goal now is now you applying those things towards your purpose and vision for life. Because most of the things you learned so far, you learned it because people want to say you should learn it. You learn it because maybe people force you to learn it. You learn it because maybe you really need to learn it. But now your purpose and vision is very important. And now you need to learn those three things to be able to execute on this purpose and vision. Everything I've done so far, building model coach, think about it, starting in 2017, posting quotes daily, till now, this is over it's about 9 years now, going to 10 years. This is about 9 years now. building body coach, right? Posting daily, talk about consistency, talk about discipline. And guess what? I'm able to do that because of discipline, because of I created system, right? I created system around that, and I've built the habits of writing daily and sharing my knowledge with the world, right? So, how education is learned is that you learn it like you've learned other things. The way you learn other skills you have currently, you learn. I remember when I was trying to learn data marketing in 2020, right? I had to build the system around how to learning it. I had to form the habits of uh, taking action on it daily, right? And to have I learned the discipline. I employed discipline or applied discipline towards learning because when it didn't get tough and there are some things I was not clear about, what kept me going because I said that okay, this is why I'm doing it, whether you feel like it or not. So I did it regardless. And now I learned digital marketing and I've used it to actually implement and execute on my purpose and do other amazing things for my life. So the way you're able to learn other skills too, that's the same way you are going to be able to learn execution. Three core things: systems, habits, and discipline. Right? Uh, so think about great people you know today. This has also played out in their life, right? Every great person you know today excels in their field, either in entertainment, in sport, in business, entrepreneurship, music, whichever way, football or sports, right? Every one of them, think about Cristiano Ronaldo, Kobe Bryant, think about even people like Oprah Winfrey, even Elon Musk, every one of them, right? One thing is help them to execute consistently is that they're able to create system, build habits, and also discipline. Think about Kobe Bryant. I wrote it here. He was not naturally disciplined. He built a system of 4 a.m. workouts that become non-negotiable. That means by 4 a.m. he exercised, he worked out, perfecting his skills, and that's what made him become the exceptional person he is, right? Before he was late, right? Discipline, creating a system for a 4 a.m. workout. I remember, was it, I can't remember his name clearly, right? Is it Steve? I can't remember his name clearly, but it talks about how every day he makes sure it takes about 1,000 throws, right? Practicing basketball, talk about habits, talk about discipline, talk about system. And when he said 1,000, I think it's 1,000, right? It's not about the amount of time he throws, it's about the amount of time he eats. He will keep eating it until he reaches 1,000. So if he has to throw it 10,000 times or 5,000 times, he'll keep throwing until he eats 1,000 into the basketball net, right? Think about it. That's discipline. Every great person you know today and successful person you know today, discipline, system, and habits played out in their life. Think about Oprah Winfrey. She was fired from her first TV job, but she built habits of preparation and consistency and no one can ignore. That was she's one of the richest black women in the world, right? Built discipline, built system of preparation and consistency. Elon Musk, right? He missed deadline repeatedly, but he was able to create a system of accountability and prayer that first execution. That's why he has been able to build everything that's built so far. So think about everything, even in my own life personally, right? Everything I've built so far is not easy, right? But I applied system, I applied building the right habits, and also I applied discipline, right? So all the people I mentioned, even myself, I'm not superhuman, right? Everyone you know today doing amazing things. They're not superhuman. They are just people who learned how to execute, and they're still learning about it. They're still learning about it. They're still learning about it. So don't forget, right? I'm going to explain those three parts so that you can fully understand it and how you can implement it in your own life. The first is that I'll start with the execution formula. So here's the framework we're going to cover tonight, right? The execution formula. The execution formula. First is that you must understand that purpose is the first thing. Purpose gives you direction. It's very important. Purpose gives you direction. Your purpose and your vision, they give you direction on where you are going, what you're trying to do, and why you are doing it. So purpose gives you direction. Then the three core things, system. System creates structures for that direction. It creates structure to ensure you execute and move in line or in the direction of that your purpose and vision. System does that for you. System. The reason why you have not taken action on your goals or executing your vision and purpose is because system is missing. Some of you is because the next is habits. Habit creates consistency. Why system creates structure? Habit creates consistency, right? Anybody that says consistent at anything or in anything, they become that become an habit for them, right? Habits create consistency. What you do every time, right? What you do every time. Also, discipline creates endurance. Don't forget, if you're trying to achieve big things, do great things like your purpose, your vision, you need endurance, right? The race is not to the is to those people who can endure, right? It's not to the fast, right? It's to those who can endure. Thank you very much, Blessed. He said education formula, purpose system. Yes, purpose gives and vision gives direction. System creates structure. Habit creates consistency. And guess what? Discipline creates endurance, right? You need those three things to actually execute. Because working your purpose, working your vision, you're going to face obstacles. There are times that things will not go your way. There are times that unplanned things will happen. But you need, in that moment, you need discipline. There are times you need habits. There are times you need the system, but there are also times you need discipline. Like seeing through, regardless of what it takes. Right? For example, having this session today, it takes discipline. I have a system. So this is the interesting thing. For this session, right, I have a system already. Every month, at the end of the month, I must always have a section on Motivate Life Coaching, right? My coaching company to help people and guide people towards ensuring that they execute and live purposeful lives. So I have a system, all right? Every week, every month, I have a section, a webinar. It's a system for that already, 8 p.m. There's a system for how we design the flyers, a system for how we share it. There's a system for that already. So that's consistent. That made it consistent, right? Also, there's habits, right? I've built the habits of learning, build the habits of reading, build the habit of speaking, and so it ensures that this purpose, this execution of this become easier because it's something I do every time. I speak every time. Last week, I remember I spoke in about 5 different places, right? Physically, and it's something. So it has become an habit for me, right? I speak, or I have meetings, so I speak. So habits, don't forget. Third is discipline. Now, I'm tired, right? Because I'm exhausted from the work I've been doing as regards the project I'm running, but I'm still showing up. Showing up, it takes discipline. Showing up, it takes discipline. So you don't think I'm a superwoman or something. It's not easy showing up here. I'm smiling, talking for the next 30 minutes now. I'm going to keep speaking. It's not easy, right? But it's discipline because I know that I'm trying to impact people, I'm trying to transform life, I'm trying to help people be able to execute their vision and purpose, like I am doing. It's not easy, it's fulfilling, it's not easy, but it's worth it. I remember writing something on my status this. I posted something on my WhatsApp status. I won't post it online, right, on social media. I know some of you saw it today, right? And it's a quote that says, do what is necessary, not what is convenient. Do what is necessary, not what is convenient. Now, what I'm doing currently is necessary. It's not convenient, but it's necessary because it's in line with my purpose and vision for life. And I'm working towards a vision. I look forward to a day when I'm going to travel around the world speaking and impacting lives. Now, people around the world are hearing my words, they are hearing my messages virtually, but I look forward to the day when I will go physically to those different places around the world to connect with people, to speak, to put together programs, workshops, and that impacts them and help them work towards the execution of their purpose and vision. So this is not convenient. Doing this is not convenient, right? But it is necessary. So I will do what is necessary, not what is convenient. Pursue a meaningful life, not an easy one. So purpose is bigger than your comfort, right? Don't let your comfort, the place of life stand on the way towards purpose, right? I could be sleeping now, watching a movie now, spending time hanging out with friends, but I'm doing this. Right? Do what is necessary, not what is convenient. And that will differentiate people who become successful and great and people who remain mediocre. So I wrote that the best preparation for your tomorrow is doing your best today, regardless of what it takes. The best preparation for that vision you have seen ahead. The best preparation is what? Doing your best today, regardless of what it takes. And that there is discipline. Doing it regardless of what it takes. Doing it whether it's convenient or not. That's what discipline is all about. So guess what? The execution formula, purpose gives direction, system creates structure for that direction you now have. The habits create consistency in line with that direction because you need to keep going. In consistency lies the power. Discipline creates endurance because you're going to face obstacles. Everything great is uphill. You are going to have to climb, right? But what keeps you climbing and sustain you when you get to the top is endurance, right? And guess what? Everything comes together, right, to produce execution, which creates results. Execution is what knowledge doesn't create results, right? Knowledge is just is potential power, right? But execution is what creates the real power, create the results, right? And guess what? When you execute, what follows is impact, right? You fulfill purpose. So purpose gives direction, systems create structure, habits create consistency, discipline create endurance, right? Execution create results. Without execution, no results, right? You just be telling people, I have discovered my purpose. Now, what have you done about it? Like that other man I spoke about, right? That had the opportunity to present what he has done, but he missed the opportunity because he has done nothing about it, right? And guess what? As you execute, you start creating impact. And as you create impact, guess what's happening? You are fulfilling purpose. Can you see the cycle? Discover purpose, then create a system, then create build habits, then stay disciplined in execution, then you are able to impact, and that impact lead to you fulfilling purpose. And that is the cycle I currently have in my life, right? Daily, I am fulfilling purpose because every of my expression is helping people uh, uh, fulfill purpose and work towards their destiny, right? So this is the formula for, like I said, this is the formula, the execution formula. Clarity of your purpose and vision. Knowing why you are this world, you are here to solve problems, you're here to impact your world, you're here to use your gifts to change the world, to become the answer the world is seeking. So clarity of your purpose, vision is a picture of your purpose. When you start finding how you fulfill your purpose, the vision align with your purpose, then you have a vision, right? Vision. So clarity of your purpose and vision plus systems plus habits plus discipline equals a purposeful life, purpose fulfilled. Once you are clear on your purpose, clarity of purpose and vision, plus system, plus habits, plus discipline, it equates to a fulfilled purpose, purpose fulfilled, right? If anything is missing there, you'll not be able to sustain it. You won't be able to fulfill purpose. It's very important that that's equation, clarity of purpose and vision must be clear. Because if you're not clear, why do the system? If you're not clear, what habits will you start implementing to be able to get your purpose and vision? If you're not clear about your purpose and vision, why do you need discipline? It's discipline that keep you going, but you must find a reason for going and to keep going, and you must know where you're actually going, and that's where purpose and vision comes in, right? So clarity of purpose and vision plus system plus habits plus discipline equals purpose fulfilled, right? Purpose fulfilled. So remove any of these and execution collapses. Remove any of these, execution collapses. But combine all four and your purpose becomes inevitable. And I'm not just talking from head knowledge, right? This is what I'm actually living. If any of you have been inspired by my life, right? If any of you have been inspired by what I do, this is what keeps me going. My businesses, everything I do, they are connected to my purpose. I don't just do this disjointed. No, everything I'm doing, my life coaching company, my publishing company, my media company, Mordivate, my publishing company, Betwon's Publishing, my motivational platform, my media, right, Modi Quotes, my NGO, which is my non-profit organization, Teens on Purpose International, and the coming one, which is Youth on Purpose International. It will be launched in July. Everything connects. Even the books I'm writing, everything connects towards my purpose and vision for life. But what makes me create impact across all this expression is because I've mastered execution. And how was I able to master execution? I learned system, right? I built system. I learned habits, right? I also learned discipline. So whether I feel like it or not, I get it done. I get it done. Yeah. So now let's really start the systems. Other systems I'll talk about habits. After habits, I'll talk about discipline, and then I'll give you an action step that you can start taking immediately to implement everything I have shared. Are you ready? If you're ready, see, I am ready. Thank you, blessing. You said, do what is necessary, yes, and not what is convenient, exactly. Pursue a meaningful life, not an easy one. The best preparation for your tomorrow is doing your best today, regardless of what it takes. Yeah, so are you ready to learn tonight? The three major pillars, right? I'll speak about system, I'll speak about I'll speak about system, I'll speak about um habits, and I'll speak about discipline, and I'll round up tonight's session. Yeah. So system, that's the first pillar. System, that's first pillar. Many people have goals, few people have system. Many people have goals, few people have system. Goals talk about what you're trying to achieve. System talk about the process to achieving it. This is a practical example. I have a goal that's connected to my purpose. The goal is that every month I must show up live to speak to people about purpose, execution, productivity. That's a goal. But the system I created around it is that okay, I'm going to create a webinar and have the webinar every month, share the webinar, prepare for the webinar, come live, speak on the webinar, and after speaking, share the link to this replay across all platforms. That's a system. Every month, I follow through that process to achieve the goal of having a webinar which is connected to my purpose. So, see that system is what sustains this. So, June session is guaranteed because there's a system already. So after the session, we'll review this session and then we'll prepare for the next topic, which is aligned already. We'll prepare for the next topic. From the topic, we'll create a flyer, share across all social media platform. Personally, I'll prepare for the webinar. When it's time for the webinar, I'll come live. After the live webinar, I'll share the links across all platforms for the replay for people to watch. And guess what? As people are watching this, right, I have links in the video of every live session. So sometimes people come book coaching with me, people go get my books on Amazon, people take different actions, right? And that's another source of impact. And that's also bring impact and also source of financial income too, right? So it's just sustainable every month. So I'm able to sustain this because I have a system, right? I have a system. Same way with writing. I have a system every day, write by 8 p.m. or post code by 8 a.m., post code by 8 p.m. It's just something I do daily, right? It's a system that's been created. How do I design the code? I have a place on my phone where I capture ideas. I have an app which I used to design the codes. And then after designing, I share across all platform. I have someone that does that now so that I can have time for other things. But guess what? Goal is what you're trying to do. System is the process. Even the right book too is the same process too. Get the title of the book. Even if I don't get the title, know the purpose of that book. Create an outline for that book. Start with the first step. Start filling each outline. Okay, this, then followed by this, then followed by this. After doing that, edit my book or send to my editor to edit the book. Work on the on publishing that across social media platform and printing it and launch it if necessary. That's a system, right? So goal is what you are trying to what you're trying to achieve. System is a process you must take to achieve it. Most of you've not been able to execute because you don't know the system, you don't know the process to achieving that goal. So also you are not sustainable, you are not consistent in it because you don't have a system. So think about it. The goal you have, you want to write a book, you want to go to the program, you want to launch a project, you'll not be able to do it because the system yet. Even in executing my annual program in Things of Post International, which I've visited to secondary school, there's a system for that already, right? Before the next project, right? What we do is that we review the previous project. After reviewing, we create the plan and structure for the next project. After creating the plan and structure, we have a meeting with the core team. After having a meeting with the core team, we post about the call for volunteers. When the call for volunteers come, we have a session with them, right, to let them know prepared for what's going to happen. Then after that, we train the volunteers. After training the volunteers, we select coordinators. We start. So there's a system for that, and it ends up leading to what impact. Every year we impact thousands of students. Last year we impacted about 36,000 students in just 8 weeks, and this year we are in the fourth week now. And so far we've impacted over 15,000 students, and we have 4 weeks to go. I'm going to 50,000 students. Now, if you hear my results, you say, "Wow, it's great, it's great, it's great." But what keeps me going and what keeps me going and will keeping me going because next year we have a bigger goal to reach, right? Impacts to make across not just in Nigeria this time in Africa, as regards visiting schools to speak to students about purpose. But what keeps this sustainable and keep me taking action is because there is a system. So system is very important. It's beyond having a goal. You must create a system that ensure the goal is repeatable, to ensure you are consistent as regards the goal. Oh, I'm seeing someone here, Mr. Godfrey. Thank you for joining tonight. I really appreciate it. It's a productivity man too, right? He's doing amazing things. I'm really inspired by everything you do, sir. Thank you for joining. I really appreciate it, sir. So, like I was saying, right, system a goal is what you're trying to achieve, right? System is the process, right? In creating content, the core things I do in my life, right? I know that okay, Monica, you're going to do this every month, you're going to do this every week, you're going to do this every year. Every core things I'm doing as regards my purpose and vision. In fact, in publishing books for clients in my coaching company, we have a system towards it. From when we get the client idea to when we start, I help the person work on the editing, work on the layout design. Everything has a process to finally get the book. In fact, after our client get the book, there's also a system to get a review from our client, right? To then share online to inspire other people and also help us get new clients. So there's a system in my digital agency. There's a system around that. I have a team. I'm able to do other things without focusing on that digital agency because I've created a system that the team are implementing. So system help you execute, right? It's a process. It helps your execution sustainable. It helps your execution predictable, right? So there's a specific outcome because once you go to the system, what imagine you're thinking about will I breathe? Will I take my next breath? No, there's a system for that already. Your body has different system. That's why you can move. Your heart is beating on its own, right? You don't have the same heartbeat. Imagine some of you why you're not taking action. Imagine if you have to touch your heart for it to breathe, for you to breathe or for you to beat. Guess what? Many will be dead by now. Because people will forget to execute the action of hitting their chest, their hearts, so that it can start beating. But there's a system that automates that action, and that's the power of system. Goal is what you're trying to achieve. System is the process. So whatever goal you have to achieve, you have to use the system. What are the process for me achieving that goal? Arrange it in an orderly manner, right? And all you have to do is to stay consistent in those systems. It will lead to that goal eventually. In fact, forget your goal. I like what the author of Atomic Habits, James Clear, he said, forget your goal, focus on your system, and you end up achieving your goal. Most time people focus on goals, how to make so amount, how to write a book, how to do something. But guess what? They forget the system. So don't focus on that goal of writing book. Focus on the system that leads to that goal. And what's the system for writing book? Get the idea, right? The core of what you want to write, create an outline for it, then create a writing schedule, which I'll talk shortly about, right? That ensures you write daily. Once you stay consistent in writing the specific words you plan for each day, you will end up achieving your goal, which is your published book. That's how it works. Please, are you following me tonight? Are you following me, everyone? Are you following me? Are you following me? And are you learning something tonight? So, a goal is I want to write a book. A system is I write for 30 minutes every morning at a specific time, maybe 6 a.m. And this is the specific thing I do whenever I'm writing a book. I have a specific time when I write books, right? When I'm writing, a specific time I selected for writing. And that's why I've been able to publish 6 books. I'm working on my 7th and 8th book currently because of this system, right? A goal can say, I want to impact teenagers, right? That's a goal. But a system says, I will create one piece of content daily, speak monthly, and mentor weekly. And that's what I currently do with my teenagers platform, right? For young people. We have over 600 members from 11 countries and 30 states in Nigeria. And what we do is that we have a system that has been running for the past since 2020, that's 6 years. Every month they read a book and review a book. Every month we hold a webinar. Every month we have an interactive session, either a question and answer session or a biography session. And every month we do one other thing. So the prayer sessions, right? Every month for the past 6 years, we've been able to be consistent in it because there's a system around around that. So it's important to create a system, right? A goal is what you're trying to achieve. A system is how you go about achieving it. Goals inspire, but system is what produces. A system is a repeatable structure that produces a result. A system is a repeatable structure that does what? That produces a result regardless of how you feel. For example, I told you that I don't feel like coming live today, right? But there's a system already. This session is already scheduled already. So whether I like it or not, I have to come online because the system says you must come online. Do you get? Because it's already scheduled. So I don't have a choice. I must come whether I feel like it or not. So imagine there's no system for this to keep this running. You will not see me live tonight. I'll be resting now, doing something else. So a system is a repeatable structure that produces result regardless of how you feel. It removes the daily decision of whether to show up or not. That's what I'm saying. It removes that. Suppose say, should I write today or not? Should I do this or no? You don't have a system. That's why you're thinking like that, right? If there's a system, it automates your actions, right? So how do you build a system? Number one, audit your time first. Know where your time is going. Most of you, if you audit your time, see or take note of how you spend your day. Most of you see you are spending your day and spend your time on things you should be spending your time on. Most of you spend hours on social media, scrolling, and then not achieving or making any progress. Most of you just talking to people waste your time. But you can never find that out if you don't audit your time. So the first thing to build a system, audit your time. You cannot build a system on top of chaos, right? For 1 week, for the next 1 week, we are going to a new month, the month of June. So see it as your goal for next week, right? Track your time for 1 week. Know where your hours go to. You can even use your phone to track some of the activities on your phone or places you visit on your phone. To know, some of you will be shocked to see you spend 8 hours or 5 hours on WhatsApp even, right? So use your phone screen time reports to track your time. You can do that manually. You can do that using your digital apps or many other things, right? Two is that build a time blocking system. A time blocking system talk about scheduling time for specific tasks. Scheduling time for specific tasks. So, for example, you know your purpose and vision. You want to write a book in line with your purpose and vision. So, tell yourself from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. is for writing my book. Schedule block time. That's part of creative system, right? There's system for this session. 8 a.m., 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Block time for it. So I can't do anything in this session. I'm fully focused on it because there's a system around that already. So check where you are wasting your time, audit your time. Next is that block time for specific activities. You want to launch a project. Okay, what is the system to launch it? Number one, you have to plan. Now, block out a time from 9 p.m. to 12 p.m. I'm going to plan how I will execute this project. When that's done, create another block of time again for another day. From this time to this time, I will execute. So if you don't create a block of time, anything that is not scheduled won't get done at the end of the day. I love what I can't remember the person that said it, but he said, don't. I want to remember how he said it. Don't prioritize your schedule. Schedule your priorities. Don't prioritize your schedule, right? Your schedule may be the schedule may be what people place on you, right? Don't prioritize that. Instead, schedule your priority. That means have a know your priorities and then schedule time for it. Specific block of time. It's very important, right? Specific block of time. Um, so let me just tell you some other system you can build as regards this. Build a productivity system. A productivity system talks about how you turn your ideas into completed work. Most of you have ideas, but you're not doing anything about it. So build a productivity system. It talks about capture your idea, whatever you want to do, capture it, making sure it's written down. No, it don't keep it in your mind. Your brain is for capturing ideas, but not for keeping them, right? So capture those ideas. Most of you, you've not taken that action because it's still in your mind. But take it away from the invisible realm, bring to the visible realm, write it down, right? Capture your idea. Then once you've captured it, right, plan for it, create a plan around this can be a system to ensure you keep executing. You want to write a book, capture the idea of the book, then plan how you go about writing the book. Then guess what? Execute, create time blocks for it. And once you're done executing, review, right? Review it and then move to the next thing. That's what I do as regards implementing everything I do. The book I write, the projects I launch, the books everything I do. There's a system around that, a productivity system. Capture it, plan it, execute, review. The review is where you gain lessons to implement the next other projects. Also, build a learning system. A learning system is very important. As a purpose-driven individual, you need a learning system because you can't give beyond what you know. You can't give what you don't have, right? And you can't build or create beyond what you know. So build a learning system. Just stop consuming and start implementing. Most of you are watching YouTube videos. What have you done about the YouTube videos? Taking podcasts, watch podcasts, listen to taking courses. What have you done about that? So create a system for learning, right? For every book, podcast or course you take, extract one action, one thing you do differently, right? Because of what you learned. That's a way to turn just learning to executing. So number one, I said audit your time. Number two, I said build a time blocking system. That means create blocks of time for every actions, the major actions in line with your purpose you need to take. Number three, I said build a productivity system so that every idea you have, there'll be a way to turn it into results, right? Capture, plan, execute, and review. It's very important. And this will give you, like once you are capturing, you know the next is planning. Once you are planning, you know the next is executing. Once you are executing, you know the next is review, and you repeat the cycle again. All those type of systems ensure that you stay consistent. Also, build a learning system. You need to learn, know more, right? Gain knowledge, right? But as you gain this knowledge, pick one action. You may read a whole book. Tell yourself, What one action will I take from what I've read now, right? That's another way to execute. And also build an accountability system, right? Most people overestimate what they will do alone and underestimate what they will do when someone is watching. There are many of my clients that have been able to write their book, launch their project, build their organization, do several things because I was watching them. And that's the power of accountability. So you need to build an accountability system. It can be, you may find one person, it can be a coach, a mentor, a trusted friend. Share your major goals with the person and let the person know that, okay, you need to keep you accountable, create a plan around that. And when you both will review and you keep holding your hands towards achieving your goal. So you need an accountability system too. So that's that. The next pillar is habits. 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 I've spoken about system, you need system, whatever action you want to take. So think about it, whatever goals you want to achieve, whatever purpose and vision you have, and the goals you need to achieve that purpose and vision. What are the system you can create? In your writing book, you may be writing book, you may be organizing a program. What system can you create? For example, every year I have programs I organize every year. In July, another one in November, another one between March and May. There are different ones. I've created a system around that, so it makes sure it's consistent, right? So have a system. So ask yourself, what system can I create around these goals I've been able to achieve? I want to achieve that's connected to my purpose and vision. It's very important. Also, this next pillar is habits, right? Your future is in your daily habits. I remember, is it Mike Moodle that said that the secret to your future is hidden in what you do daily. So even know how your future look like, look at what you do every day because it's connected to your future. Because you can't see the future, really, you can't really see the future clearly, right? But what you do every day, you can see it, and it will ultimately take you to where you want to, where you are going. So you must be intentional about it by building the right habits today that will take you to the vision and the purpose and the future you see ahead. So your future is hidden in your daily habits. People want transformation, but transformation hides in repetition, right? Right? Transformation, right? You want to get, for example, put down to lose weight, right? You don't just get to lose weight suddenly, right? You lose weight step by step, by repeating the same exercise, repeating exercises, and staying consistent with your workout. And at the end of the day, you bet the transformation of a loose body or whatever goals you want to achieve. So people want transformation, but transformation hides inside repetition. Think about it can look boring sometimes. That's why most successful people their life can be boring sometimes because most of the things, for example, Cristiano Ronaldo, after every match, he must relax, he go into his basin or whatever they call it, right? To just relax, to stretch himself. He doesn't eat anyhow, like he has regimented eating, he has time for he trains and so on and so forth, right? Repetition, transformation adds repetition. Most of you have not gone far, you're not doing great things, you're not executing your goals because you are not repeating. Or you are repeating the wrong thing, not repeating the right thing. So you need to know where you are going. You determine the kind of habits you build, right? And do consistently that will take you to where you want to be. So you don't become successful once, you become successful daily. And guess what? You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your habits. No matter how big your goal is, if you are beyond the habits, you never achieve that goal. So if you have big goals, think about what are the habits that will take you towards achieving that goal. Then work on that habit, live that habit, let it become part of your life, and that goals will be ultimately achieved. Right. For example, I told you I'm become a global speaker, an entrepreneur, someone that goes around the world, impacting life and transforming people and building businesses. And guess what? My daily habit is learning, reading, thinking, planning, creating, sharing. It will ultimately lead me, and I'm taking steps towards it, right? That's how it works. Your purpose is not fulfilled in your big moments. It is fulfilled or abandoned in your small daily decisions. Those times that you need to write that book, I say, no, I'll write it later. That's an habit already. Procrastination is an habit, right? Those times you need to talk to someone that will help you or work with you to achieve your goal, that you choose not to talk to the person, right? There are habits that already take you far away from your goal. So your habits can take you towards your goal and ultimately towards your purpose or take you far away from it. The question is that what habits do you have currently? And is it helping you execute or take you far away from execution? Some of you, the habit of scrolling every time online is taking you far away from your purpose. It's getting you overwhelmed, comparing yourself with each other, and letting you ignore the purpose you have, right? So please, it's important you take note of your habits because your habits creates your future. Your habit is what helps you execute consistently in line with your purpose and vision. So you must ensure you have the right habits that will ultimately lead you to the purpose and vision you have for your life. Right? So um, So how do you build your habit? Your habit are things you do repeatedly. That's habits, right? What you do repeatedly. Um, What you do repeatedly, those are your habits. And the question you must ask yourself is that, see, what you do repeatedly is building something in you. So you must be careful about what you are doing repeatedly, right? What you are doing repeatedly. And that's what habits is about. Now, how to build your habits? There's something called the science of habit formation, and it's, if you have read Atomic Habits or Habits, there are two books, right? Those books talk about that, the science of habit formation. And every habit runs in three parts loop. Every habit, right? You whether the right habit or the wrong habits, everything runs in three-part loop. First is the cue. The cue is the trigger that starts the behavior. The cue, CUE, is the trigger that starts the behavior. The routine, the second part, is the behavior itself. And the reward is the result that makes the brain wants to repeat it, right? For example, you smell something, right, and you start feeling hungry. What you smelled is the cue, right? Now you go ahead to eat. As you go ahead to eat, as you're eating, that's the routine, the action you're taking based on the cue. And the reward is you are satisfied, you are filled, right? The reward is the result your brain gets and lead to it wanting to repeat that same action. So that's how it works. So if you can do that with food, why can't you do that with your purpose and vision? Right? To build an execution habit, you must design all three deliberately. You must align to what you want to do with your life, right? Some of you, if you hear the beginning sound of Netflix, that sound they make the begin, you feel like watching a movie. Then you go ahead and watch the movie. You feel excited watching the movie. That's the reward. So the cue, that sound of Netflix, right, is the cue. Watching the movie itself, right, is the routine, you taking the action itself. And the reward is the satisfaction you get. That movie was interesting. I enjoyed it. The excitement you get is the reward. And that reward you got from it reinforces your brain to want to repeat it again. That's why most people go ahead to watch several movies. But guess what? Those movies, are they leading you to your purpose and vision? Are they helping you execute on your purpose and vision? No. That's why you must build the right habits in line with your purpose and vision. It's very important. Right. So to build an execution habit, you must design all three deliberately: the cue, the routine, and the reward. The step one is that start smaller than you think you need to. Most of you want to write a book, but you are starting with writing 2,000 words, 5,000 words, and you've not written any book ever. So now, for you to have the habit of writing, build the habit of writing, because it will lead to you writing a book that will lead to you or take steps towards your purpose and vision of impacting life through what you know. You have to start smaller than you think you can. You need to. The bigger mistake people make is going too big too soon. You will get to that level where you write 1,000 words. Currently, I can write 1,000 words daily. I can write 2,000 words daily. Sometimes there are days I wrote about 5,000 words daily. In fact, my wife can write 10,000 words daily. She's a writer. She's a born writer. But she built that habit and she can do that, right? So you must build the habit, but don't start big. Some of you have had different motivation and you want to start writing, you want to write the first 5,000. That's why you still get discouraged, because when you've not become the kind of person that can execute on that level of consistency. So it's okay to start small, but don't stay small. The more you improve and get better at executing and executing an habit, the more you will improve it. Do you get what I'm saying? So number one is that to build an habit, start smaller than you think you need to, right? Don't commit to creating 3 videos when you have not created one. Don't commit to creating a whole YouTube video that is 10 minutes long when you've not mastered the art of making 1 minute video. For example, I can speak for 2 hours, I can speak for 3 hours, right? But because I have mastered how to do the little things first, and that's why I always have something to say. Are you getting my point? So start small, right? The goal at the start is not the output. The goal is the identity. When you start little, right, you are building the identity of consistency. You'll be able to execute more. So don't start big, that you get discouraged. Start small. And when you stay consistent, you'll be able to improve better. Step two to building habits, the right habits for execution, is attach the new habit to an existing anchor. There are things you already do daily. And for you to now execute consistently, attach the new habit you will take towards what you're already doing consistently already. Some of you, at least, you take your bait consistently, at least. Hopefully, hopefully, you take your bait consistently. Now you can connect that bait into something that, okay, after taking my bait, I'll sit down at my table and then I'll sit down in my workspace and write 100 words or 500 words of my book. Or after taking my bath every morning, I'll sit down and think about, I'll create a plan, or I will create a structure or a system, or create that, work on that document that I need to submit, or work on that proposal. So connect your new habit, right, that you want to execute on to an existing one. You get that will be serve as an anchor. So after doing this is what you do next. It's very important. It's very important, right? Number two is that design your environment for the habits. Your environment is very important. They call it environmental design. Environmental design. So I mean, remove every friction, everything that will hinder you from executing that goal, that habit. Remove it. Design your environment to favor your execution of your goals. Some of you have to take your TV away from your room because maybe your room is your workspace for taking action, executing your goals and vision, but that TV is distracting you. You have to take it away. That's part of environmental design. Some of you have to take away your phone when it's time to take action. That's part of environmental design. Some of you have to get a better table or chair or a workspace or create a space, an environment that will inspire you to take action. For example, in front of me there's my vision board, right? If I just see in this place I am now, I'm always inspired to do things. This is my office, my home office, right? I'm always inspired to do this, right? Nothing is distracting here, right? I have books here, I have my vision board here, I have some awards here, I have so this is my own space, right? Once I enter this space, it's for productivity, it's for action. I can stay here for 4 hours, I can stay here for 6 hours, with it all log and execute some things I need to do. So you have to create that environment, environmental design, right? Also, you have to track your streak, right? As you're taking action in that goal, in that habit, right? You have to track it. You have to track it. You have to track it. It's very important to try a method called Synfeed method. Synfeed method talk about that you ticking for every habit you implement, right? Okay, you want to write a book, 1,000 words every day. Anytime you write it, tick it, tick it, tick it. So I keep ticking it, you start creating a chain. And the goal now is that don't break that chain. Keep ticking it, keep ticking it, right? That's called Synfeed method, and something you can research on. So you may say, okay, your goal is to do something as regards your purpose. Then you can have a planner or something that you can keep ticking every day as you're making progress every day. So your goal now is not to break that chain. It helps you keep executing your goals. And finally, as regards habit, reward that behavior. After executing your goal, you wrote that book, you took that step, you spoke with that person, you submitted that application. Reward yourself, right? Reward yourself, right? Celebrate yourself. You can get yourself a drink, you can do something just to celebrate yourself to reinforce that decision and that action you're taking, right? Um, Let me just share this quickly. Some actions of every some 7 execution habits to build now. 7 execution habits to build. I'll just go through it, right? The first is that some habits you need to build is that execute before you are ready. You feel ready. Don't wait to feel. Most of the things I've done so far, I didn't feel ready doing it. I don't wait to be ready. I start right to be ready. I get my point. So execute before you are ready, right? Launch that imperfect version. Don't wait for it to be perfect. Launch it regardless. Some of you have the habit of not taking action. You want to be perfect, but you don't wait to get perfect. You take action to get perfect. Perfection is a journey, right? And you don't get that journey by waiting, you get it by acting. So execute before you're ready, publish that book, publish that post that video, speak to that person, create that proposal, submit regardless, right? Also, another habit is focus on the priority. Don't do many things, focus on one priority part time, right? Most time is diluted focus. We are focused on too many things. That's why you're not executing. You are getting overwhelmed and confused. So focus on one priority part time. Schedule deep work. Have a time every day that okay, for the next 2 hours I'll do this. I mean, I have 4 hour deep work every day, right? That 4 hours spent when I do meaningful things, I get my purpose and vision. When I write book, either write a book, creating a plan, submitting a proposal, in a day, out of a day, 4 hours is for deep work, doing something meaningful as regard my purpose and vision. It's very important. Also, habit of finishing what you start, right? That's why it's important you have a system to ensure you finish what you start. So it's an habit. Tracking your progress is an habit. Review weekly, every week, at the end of every week. Ask yourself, okay, this is my goal for this week. How did I go about it? What did I miss? When did I do it? Okay, now prepare for the next week, right? So review weekly and also keeping promise to yourself. That's an habit. And you need discipline for that. I'll talk about that now, right? The third pillar. So let me give an action point. Ask yourself, what is my purpose and vision? What am I trying to do as regards it? Now, what are the habits that I must do daily that will take me towards that purpose and vision? Now, when you know that habits, right, schedule time for it, block time for it, use the power of the system I talked about, the first pillar, right? Schedule time for it and make sure You keep marking it and you keep taking action daily. And guess what? At the end of every week, review yourself. Okay, am I making progress? Am I getting there? It's very important, right? Every habit you need, you know those habits, and every day make sure you schedule time to implement them, right? It's very important. And finally, as I round up tonight, discipline. Discipline. This is where most people fail. Some people have the system, some people have the habits, but still, there are times that if you are going for great things, obstacle will be on the way, right? There are times that you plan to go to jogging way before, you plan to write that book, your system will get spoiled, or something just happen, right? Discipline is what keeps you going, right? So discipline is not doing what you love. Discipline is doing what matters, even when you don't feel like it. Like I told you, having this session tonight is discipline. I don't feel like it, but I know it's a must, it's important. And what even aid me is because I have a system already. I have an habit of doing this already. And then guess what? It's the discipline comes easier. So discipline is a muscle. You must understand that. The more you make your discipline, the more you can stress it. Most of you are not using your discipline, right? You usually give up, right? The more you make use of discipline, the more the muscle becomes stronger. It becomes stronger. So there are times you don't feel like doing something, but manage and do it regardless because you have a purpose and vision. And you know that if you keep letting inconsistency, lack of execution in your life, you may not get your purpose and vision. So at least remember you have clarity of purpose and vision already. So let that be the reason why you stay disciplined. Because nothing good is achieved without being disciplined. Right? So discipline is doing what matters even when you don't feel like it. Motivation asks, do I feel like it? Right? But discipline asks, did I commit to it? It's not about whether you feel like it or not. The answer is that you commit to it. Right? So let me give a practical example. I wrote a practical example here. For example, if your purpose requires you create content and share content online daily, if that your purpose requires that, for example, my purpose requires that still, right? As a thought leader, I need to keep sharing thoughts and to inspire people and change the way people think about life and purpose and vision and education. So if your purpose requires you create and share content online every day, day one, you feel motivated. You create 3 pieces of content, you share it online, you're excited about that. Day four, you become tired because nobody's engaging. You start getting tired. That, I've been posting content consistently, nobody's engaging. Therefore, you get tired. Day 11, right? You get discouraged because the numbers are small, the silence feels loud, people are not commenting, people are not replying, right? You are getting tired already. That's day 11. But guess what? At that time, that's when this thing start kicking in. So even though you feel tired and you're not encouraged, this thing pushes you to post regardless. You keep posting regardless until day 30. The algorithm starts responding, people start sharing, a message lands in your box. This changed my life. And then you feel inspired that, wow, my words are changing people's life. And that's what happened in Moody Quotes. I started Moody Quotes in 2017, June. And for the first 6 months, I was the one liking my post. But guess what? Because I know that I have a purpose and vision, I kept going. I kept posting regardless. I remember when I was posted to serve in a community without network, with that light, and it was so difficult to post. Guess what? I found a way to keep posting, and that's what made my platform grew to from about 1,000 followers to over 100,000 followers in 1 year, and currently with over 300,000 followers across social media. It was not easy, right? But I kept going. It's discipline that kept me going. And what made me disciplined because I have a purpose and vision. That's what kept pushing me. And I've created a system. And also I have an habit of writing. And so that doesn't become easier. So everything follows each other. You have to have clarity about purpose and vision, build system for your purpose and vision, build habits that help you sustain the system in line with your purpose and vision, and then ensure you build discipline. It's very important, right? You build discipline. You build discipline. So, 3 things you know about discipline. It grows stronger every time you honor your commitment to yourself. Anytime you say you do something and you do it regardless, it grows stronger. For example, it has helped me in writing books in my gym, in my going working out, and so on and so forth. Because I tell myself I'll do this, and regardless, I will do it. And guess what? It strengthens my discipline. That's why I say you need to build. As you build your muscle, you have to build the muscle of your discipline, so you can get stronger and you can take action easier, right? Um, Also, discipline is built in small moments, not grand gestures. Most of you are waiting for the big thing to build discipline. No, Little things you told someone you call tomorrow, calling the person regardless. You told someone you said you're going to post something tomorrow. Let's post something. You posted it regardless. You said you're going to work on something and say those little actions, right? Build discipline, right? Currently, I'm managing over 1,000 volunteers from over all states in Nigeria. This discipline to ensure that I keep managing them, working with them, sharing with them, is because I have already built little disciplines in little things already. So most of you want the big things, but you're not even consistent in the small things. No, you'll not get to that big things. So build disciplines. First and foremost, it grows stronger every time you keep your promise to yourself. And number two, it is built in small moments, not grand gesture. It's very important. So to build discipline, start small. Start with a small, non-negotiable commitment. Maybe I'm going to write 500 words in my book tomorrow. I'm going to talk to someone that will coach me towards achieving this. I'm going to post my first content online. I'm going to video this 1 minute video, right? 1 minute video I can post online. Start with small commitment, right? Don't forget, number two is that choose one discipline. Don't try to be disciplined in many things at the same time. Start with the one, stay consistent in it, and then you can pivot as you start and you continue growing, right? Um, exactly. Also, separate your feeling from your commitment, right? Don't let your commitment to something be based on how you feel. Let it be based on what you can see, what you're trying to do, right? So separate your feeling from your commitment. Don't let your feelings stop you from doing what you need to do. That's how you build discipline. So even though you don't feel like doing, do it regardless. Go shock your feeling. I tell myself, I don't feel like doing it, but I'll shock what I'm feeling. So my feeling, wow, you did it at last. Yes, exactly. Shock your feeling. Shock your emotions. Let your vision be stronger than those emotions, right? Okay. Also, for you to stay disciplined, make the cost of not being disciplined costly. Do you get what I'm saying? That okay, if I didn't do this, then this is the cost. I'll pay this thing. I will have to make the cost. Most time, if you add the cost to it, you tend to take action regardless, right? So add the cost with a costly cost that will ensure that you stay disciplined regardless. Do you get? It's very important. That's how you stay disciplined. And as I round up tonight, right, I've spoken about building the system, building the habits, and also building the discipline. So ask yourself, what is that you're trying to achieve that I've been postponing every time? What one action can I take towards it, regardless of how I feel? Right? Don't forget, every time you take action on that discipline, you are strengthening your ability to stay disciplined. And once you strengthen it, you'll be able to stay consistent because every great thing requires work, and you can never do the work if you are not disciplined. Don't forget, discipline is doing what you need to do whether you feel like it or not. Yeah, lesson you right, discipline in small moments. Exactly. Right. So let me give the round up now. Don't forget, as I round up, the highest level of execution is not the system, it's actually identity, right? Beyond everything I've said so far, you will become the kind of person that executes. Start seeing yourself as someone that executes, right? You'll never be able to do everything I've shared so far if you don't change the way you see yourself, right? So execution, the highest level of execution is not the system and the habits, it's the identity. But guess what? Everything I've shared so far will help you build that identity. For example, I see myself as someone who executes. I see myself that I call myself the ruthless executor. That's why I don't give myself the name execution strategist, right? Because I see myself that way. I see myself as someone that if I say I will do something, I will do it. And because I see myself that way, I keep taking actions to ascertain, right, and to concretize that thinking I have about myself. So you have to change the way you see yourself. Stop seeing yourself as someone that procrastinates or that is lazy or doesn't take action. That's change the way you see yourself, right? And as you change the way you see yourself, as you change the way you think about yourself, what you do changes because your behaviors are powered by your thinking, your mindset, right? There are people that are more talented than I am. There are people that are more gifted than I am, but they can't argue that I am his ruthless executor. I execute, right? Let that be. Say that about you. I tell people I can execute. I execute. I take action regardless of how I feel, right? And I take little action to concretize and I'm trying to cement and to I'm trying to use for the better grammar, right? The English word, but to ensure that what I said about myself, I stay consistent in it. To avoid what psychology called what they call it. Let me remember what they call it. Cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance is when what you say is different from what you are doing. The discomfort you feel when what you say is different from what you are doing. It's called cognitive dissonance, right? And to ensure that doesn't happen, whatever you say, whatever you think about yourself that you say you are, ensure that it's consistent with what you do. right? So, what can you do differently now? Please create a 90-day execution blueprint, right? Okay, before you do that, right, do this, the execution audit. Number one, do I ask yourself, do I start my day with intention or with reaction? Most of you, when you come online, when you wake up in the morning, you first start checking news to react to your day. No, ask yourself, do I start my day with intention or with reaction? Ask that question. Most of you start with reaction, and that's why you don't execute because you get overwhelmed. Because in the morning when you wake up, your brain is in an alpha state, ready to think, reason, but most time you dilute it with distractions online. So ask yourself, do I start my day with intention, what I'm trying to do, or with reaction? Number two, can I name one thing that will remove my purpose forward today? What is one thing that you can do differently? Is it that you have to start writing that book, you have to start organizing that program, you have to start building that organization, you have to launch this thing, you have to submit that proposal. What can you start doing now that will move you to your purpose? One thing, just name it. Please, are you doing that currently? Name it. Number three is that ask yourself, am I doing the hard, important work or am I doing the busy but comfortable work? Ask yourself the easy task. Are you doing the hard work? If what you are doing is so easy, I don't think it's going to great thing because if it's great, it won't come easy. So are you going towards doing the busy and just say or you are doing the major intentional and hard work that will lead to your purpose and vision? Ask yourself, are you doing that? Ask yourself, do I have a system or I am just still waiting to feel motivated? Motivation fades, systems last. So please stop waiting for motivation, start taking action, right? And motivation will come. Ask yourself, am I consistent or do I show up only when I'm inspired? If you show up only when you're inspired, you can never build something great, right? You can never build something great. Now, this is your 90-day execution blueprint. And I will end with this your 90-day execution blueprint, right? Number one, step one, choose one purpose goal, not 10, not one, and not 10, just one. The one that, if it achieved, changes everything. Some of you, if you launch that book, if you write and launch that book, it changes everything for you. It opens up new opportunities for you. Most of you, if you go on that outreach program or that project and you execute it, it can launch things for you, right? So ask yourself, in the next 90 days, what is that one purpose goal that once I achieve it, it may be organizing a program, it may be organizing your first webinar, maybe posting maybe 12 YouTube, maybe 5 YouTube videos online and sharing your or posting a written content consistently. Whatever it is for you, or posting or creating that blog post, whatever it is for you, what can you do in the next 30 days? One thing that you know, if it is achieved, it will launch you and open you up to new vistas and new opportunities that will keep you advanced towards your purpose and vision. Like, what is that one thing? Are you thinking about that? Number two, step two, define your 90-day outcome. Don't forget, number one, choose one purpose goal. Number two, define your 90-day outcome, right? That means what specifically will be completed in 90 days. Now, if your purpose is that, okay, my purpose is that I want to share my message to the world, right? I have something the world needs. I want to share my message with the world. That's one purpose goal. Or I want to build something. That's a purpose goal, right? Now, define your 90-day outcome. At the end of these 90 days, what would I have done? What would I have done? What would I have done in the next 90 days? Maybe I would have completed the first draft of my book, written 20,000 words. Maybe I would have registered my business and secured my first client. Maybe that. Maybe I would have posted 30 pieces of content online, maybe on Facebook or TikTok or Instagram or whatever. Or I'd have created and shared maybe 6 YouTube videos online in the next 90 days. Whatever it is, have a clear outcome. Don't forget your purpose. What's that? Your one purpose goal, right? And number two is that what? Step two, define your 90-day outcome. Step three is that break that 90-day outcome into weekly targets. Now, for example, if you are to maybe write 10,000 words, what in the next 90 days for your book to complete the first draft of your book, what can you do what can you do weekly in line with it? Right? Choose one purpose goal. Number two is define your 90-day outcome. What do you want to see at the end of 90 days? What do you want to have done at the end of 90 days? Number three is that break it into weekly targets. So if you're going 20,000 words in 90 days, now maybe you must write maybe 1,000 words every week, possibly, to help you to achieve that goal of 10,000 words in the next 90 days. So break down your 90-day outcome goal into weekly targets. What can you do weekly? It's very important, right? You want to post 6 videos, 12 videos at the end on YouTube at the end of 90 days. Now, what can you do every week, right? Is it I'll post one video every week, or I'll post one video every two, or I will, or Or I will record the video every week, and second week I'll post the video online on YouTube or upload the video on YouTube. So just have what can you do weekly as regards that event the outcome, right? See the example I just used now. You want to post 12 videos at the end of 90 days. Avoid to achieve it. You have to post maybe a video every 2 weeks. So the first week can be the recording of the video, getting your content, recording the video. The second week can be that's a goal achieved in the week as regards your 90-day goal, right? The second week can be recording the video and uploading or editing online, editing and uploading online. So that means every week you have something you do every week as regards achieving your 90 days. So imagine every 2 weeks you are posting a video. At the end of maybe 90 days, you have posted your 12th video. And guess what? That's how it works. So break it down into weekly targets. What must happen each week to each your 90-day outcome? Number 4, step 4, break it into daily action. It's very important. The secret to your future is hidden in what you do daily. This is where your habits comes into, right? Your habits comes into, right? What is the non-negotiable daily action I must take every day to move forward? Is that every day I must write 500 words. Every day I must create one content. Every day I must build something for 45 minutes or learn a skill that will help me achieve my purpose and vision. Every day, 1 hour learning a skill or building a skill or building a business or building something, right? What can you do daily? And whatever you want to do daily, don't forget the part I talked about, step 5, build system. It's very important. System for learning, right? System for productivity, system for accountability, build system, right? And have a specific time block for that system you build. Have a specific time block for it, right? That means, okay, I need to write 500 words daily to achieve my 1 week goal of maybe 1,000 words and my 90-day goal of writing the first draft of my book. So when will I write that book? Today. So maybe 6 a.m., 9 a.m. every day I write my book. Or 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. I write 1,000 words or 500 words. That's it. Or 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. I'll work on this project that will help me achieve my goals for the next 90 days. So please, very important. Step 5 is about building your systems. And I spoke about 4 systems. I spoke about the time systems, the learning systems, the productivity system, and the accountability system. It's very important. Step 6 is what? Track your execution, not intention. Don't ask, do you do the work today? Yes or no? Not I was going to or I plan to. The actual question is, did you actually do it today? So every day review, track your progress, right? Track your execution. At the end of the day, did I work on it? Mark it if you work on it. If you don't work on it, put X, right? So track your execution every day. Everything that gets measured get improved, right? Everything that gets measured get improved. So measure your progress, track your execution daily. And also step 6, the step 7 and the final is where review weekly. Every week review that, okay, at the end of the week, am I making progress as regards my 90-day goal? Am I making progress as regards this? Right? Review weekly and repeat relentlessly, right? Review weekly. Every Saturday or Sunday, review your week. Are you making progress? And then adjust well. So please don't forget, purpose and execution is what leads to a fulfilled life. I was talking about you need systems, you need the habits, you need to build the discipline for you to execute on your purpose. And I believe you have learned something today. In case you are here and you want me to work with you, like I work with purpose-driven people who have a vision and purpose and need someone to hold their end towards execution, right? You need someone to work with, right? Just in the caption of this video, there's a link. You can book a coaching session with me. You can work with me with my personal life coaching or whatever you want, right? Just click the link. You can book a call or take my 12-week personal coaching program, and I'll work with you towards executing your goals and vision and ensuring that it's become a reality. And also, if you want access to my books, right, you can get my books on Amazon, you can get it on Seller. You can also visit my website. My website is mordecaiorimiladeye.com, www.mordecaiorimiladeye.com. And also, don't forget to subscribe to this video, this channel, right? This is my personal channel. Subscribe to it because I have more YouTube videos coming up, more webinars. Every month we hold these webinars for you to gain the wisdom, the knowledge, the mindset that you need to really execute on your goals and vision. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to come back, watch the replay. And beyond everything I've shared so far, take action on what I've learned, what I've shared. It's not enough to just hear. The most important thing is for you to act on what you've heard. Thank you all for joining today. I've spoken about the execution mastery. Execution can be learned, right? It can be mastered. And how can it be mastered? You learning how to build system, you learning how to build the right habits, and you learning discipline. The combination of all those 3 things, coupled with the clarity about your purpose and vision, will ultimately lead to a purpose-driven life or purpose being fulfilled, right? And I believe that you'll be able to take action. And by next webinar, I'm sure you're going to share different things you'll be able to do as regards executing on what you've learned tonight. Thank you all for joining tonight. My name is Mordecai Orimiladeye, and I remain committed to helping you live a life driven by purpose. Do have till I see you in the next session in June, right?